Hello, welcome to the video of the Unit 3 Function Practice Test for Mathematics 10. In this assessment, we'll be looking at the understanding and solving as well as communicating and representing curricular competencies. Let's do the first question. Identify the domain and range of the following relations. So the first one, we have a table of values. And at this point, we don't know whether if it's continuous or discrete. So let's assume that it's a discrete one because we just have a table of values. So to find the domain, we want to write down the possible values of x, right? Possible values of the independent variable. So we're going to represent it as a list of -2, comma -1, comma 0, comma 1, comma 2, using the curly brackets. And then the range, similarly, will be a list of 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. Well, we have 3's and 2's appearing twice, so the range is simply 2, comma 3, comma 4. Moving on to question part B, let's find the domain and range of this graph. So to find the domain, we need to find the values of x, possible values of x. So it seems like the minimum value of x possible is -8, and the maximum value of x is +8. So I think we can say the domain is x is greater than or equal to -8 and less than or equal to +8. And the range, quite similar. The minimum value of y is -8, and the maximum value of y is +8. So we write it the same way. So I think that's my domain and range of the first two parts. So remember that for the discrete data, we represent it with a list. For continuous data, we represent it using inequalities like this. Question number 2, find the value of f of x, where f of x is 3x squared plus x minus 8. So we need to find the value of f of 0 first. So what exactly do we do is we replace the value of x with the 0. So that's going to be 3 times 0 squared plus 0 minus 8. So 0 squared is 0, 3 times 0 is 0, so that's 0 plus 0 minus 8. So the answer is -8. Make sure you use the brackets in the first line to protect your substitution. Let's do the similar thing. F of 5 is going to be 3 times 5 squared plus 5 minus 8. Make sure you use the brackets there. 5 squared is 25. 3 times 25 is 75 plus 5 minus 8. So the answer is equals 72. Part C, you need to find the f of a minus 2. So once again, you do the exact same thing. You replace x with the a minus 2. So let's plug in the values and see what we get. First, we need to do a minus 2 squared. So that's going to be 3 times a squared minus 4a plus 4. So watch out that a minus 2. Well, we follow the format of a minus b squared, which is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So that's going to be a squared. 2 times a times -2 is minus 4a, and then -2 squared, sorry, 2 squared is 4. So that's why we have a squared minus 4a plus 4. Plus a minus 2 minus 8. Now let's expand. It's going to be 3a squared minus 12a plus 12 plus a minus 2 minus 8. Collect like terms. We had 3a squared minus 12a plus a, so that's minus 11a. Plus 12 minus 2 minus 8 is going to be plus 2. So that's my final answer. 3a squared minus 11a plus 2. Question number 3. Identify the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and the slope of the linear relations. So first thing, I'm going to find the x-intercept. How do you find the x-intercept again? You find the x-intercept by putting y equals 0. And you find the y-intercept putting the x equals 0. So let's find the x-intercept first. Let's put y as 0. So that's 0 minus 3 is equal to 2 times x minus 6. So that's -3 is equal to 2x minus 12. And then you add 12 on both sides. So you get 9 equals 2x. So x equals 4.5. So in other words, the x-intercept is 4.5 comma 0. And the y-intercept, similarly, you put x equals 0 instead. So that's y minus 3 equals 2 times 0 minus 6. Y minus 3 is equal to 2 times negative 6. Y minus 3 is equal to negative 12. So y is equal to negative 9. So that means my y-intercept is 0, comma, negative 9. Finally, let's find the slope. Well, we can find the slope in different ways, but I think it's quite obvious because we know immediately, looking at this equation, this is a form of slope, point slope form. So we already see the slope right away. So the slope is going to be m equals 2. If you don't have the slope, point slope form, or slope intercept form, you can find the slope by using the x-intercept and the y-intercept, and then using the slope formula, which goes m equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. If I put on the first one x1, y1, x2, y2, let's plug it into the formula. Y2 in this case is negative 9. Y1 is 0. X2 is 0, and X1 is 4.5. So you plug it in, negative 9 divided by negative 4.5, and the answer is positive 2. So you can use the slope formula like this. Let's do part B. Let's find the x-intercept and y-intercept. X-intercept and y-intercept in the graph is very obvious. You just have to locate it right there. So that's x-intercept is going to be 8, comma 0, and the y-intercept is going to be 0, comma 4. For the slope, let's use the formula here. The m equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So if I call this x1, y1, x2, y2, plug into the formula, 4 minus 0 divided by 0 minus 8. So that's going to be 4 divided by negative 8, or is equal to negative 0.5 is my slope. Question number 4. For the following linear functions, sketch the graph of the equation y minus 1 equals negative 3 times x plus 1. So in order to sketch the graph of an equation, the first thing we need to do is we need to identify the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So let's find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Once again, to find the x-intercept, we put y equals 0. So that's going to be 0 minus 1 is equal to negative 3 times x plus 1. That's negative 1 is equal to negative 3x minus 3. So let's add 3 on both sides. That's going to be 2 is equal to negative 3x. X is equal to negative 2 over 3. So that means that x-intercept is negative 2 over 3, comma 0. What about the y-intercept? My y-intercept, we put y minus 1 equals negative 3 times 0 plus 1. And that's y minus 1 equals negative 3 times 1. Y minus 1 equals negative 3, so y is equal to negative 2. So that means the y-intercept is 0, comma, negative 2. Now let's put these 2 points, the negative 2 over 3, comma 0, and 0, comma, negative 2, onto the graph. So what we need to do is we need to plot these 2 points first. First of all, my x-intercept is negative 2 over 3, so that's approximately about here. You don't need to be exact, but you just need to label them properly. So plot and label them. And then I have another point, a y-intercept at 0, comma, negative 2. So approximately that's going to be about here. So you plot and label the x-intercept and the y-intercept, and then you connect 2 lines. You connect 2 points. Perhaps you can. That's good. Yay. So that's my equation. Y minus 1 equals negative 3 times x plus 1. That's the sketch of the graph here. Part B, find the equation of the graph in the general form. So first thing we need to do, let's identify the y-intercept and the x-intercept, and then we'll use those 2 values to find the slope. Okay. So here we know that x-intercept is negative 6, comma 0, and the y-intercept is 0, comma 2. So by assigning the numbers x1, y1, x2, y2, let's find the slope by using the slope formula. And slope is equal to m equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Y2 is 2, y1 is 0, and x2 is 0, and x1 is negative 6. So that's 2 over positive 6, which is 1 over 3. Now, using the slope, I think we can find the equation of the formula combining the slope and the y-intercept. I think we can use y equals mx plus b. This is the slope-intercept form. M is 1 over 3, the slope, and the b is the y-intercept, that's plus 2. Now, this is slope-intercept form. The question asks you for the general form, so let's put it into the general form. General form means that we have the right-hand side equal to 0. So that means let's empty it out completely. Let's move everything to the left-hand side. So that's going to be y minus 1 over 3x minus 2 equals 0. Now, I don't like having fractions in my general form, so let's multiply everything by negative 3. Why negative 3? Because I don't want my x to be negative as well. So now it's going to be negative 3y plus positive x and plus 6 equals 0. If I put them in different order, x minus 3y plus 6 equals 0 would be my final equation. Question 5. Explain the nature of slopes of a vertical line and a horizontal line. Produce equations and corresponding graphs for each case as examples. So what do we know about the slopes of a vertical line and a horizontal line? Maybe we can come up with examples first, and then we can find the slope. Okay. So let's say we have two lines. The first one is going to be my horizontal line like this, and the second one is going to be a vertical line like this. Now, the red line, the horizontal line, if I find some points on this, then maybe you can say that this is 0, comma 2, and that is negative 1, comma 2, that's negative 2, comma 2. So that means that every single y value, y coordinate is always 2. So we conclude that the equation of this line is y equals 2. Similarly, for the green vertical line, you can find the points on this line and say, oh, this is 3, comma 0, this is 3, comma 1, this is 3, comma negative 1. So we conclude that every single point, the x value is always 3. So that means the equation is x equals 3. So using these examples and the lines, can we talk about the slope of a vertical line and the horizontal line? Let's start with the horizontal line. So for the horizontal line, we can find the slope by using the slope formula, y2 minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1. Let's put this one as x1, y1, and x2, y2. So that's y2 is 2, y1 is 2, x2 is 0, x2 is negative 1, and x1 is 0. And then you compute it, 2 minus 2 is 0, negative 1 minus 0 is negative 1, and the slope is always 0. So the nature of the slope of the horizontal line is that slope is always 0. Why is that? Because slope is always 0 because the rise is always 0. Okay? The rise is the numerator, the y2 minus y1. Because that's always 0, the slope is always going to be a 0. What about the vertical line? For the vertical line, let's do the same thing. M equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. For this one, let's choose the 3, comma 0 as x1, y1, and 3, comma negative 1 and x2, y2. So let's put it into the formula. Y2 is negative 1, y1 is 0, and x2 is 3, and x1 is 3 once again. So that's negative 1 over 0, which is undefined because we can't have a denominator as 0. So what we learned here is that the vertical line is always undefined slope. And why is that? Because slope is always the slope is always undefined because the run is always 0. So the run is the denominator, the x2 minus x1. So that's always 0 for the vertical line, which means that we're always dividing by 0, which means that the slope is always going to be an undefined value. All right, thank you for tuning in for this video, and good luck with your Unit 3 function test.